Welcome to a very chilly March 1st on Vancouver Island. It's garden tour Saturday today. Today's video is a collab hosted by the one and only Grandma Sandy. Go check her out. She does garden tours every Saturday. And co-hosted by the lovely Suffolk Susie from Long Island in New York. Patricia and Cube from the southern United States, and Barb Daly Rural Life from somewhere in the mountains in the northern United States. I think it's Washington, not sure. Today we're checking out all of the garden highlights. We're starting in the backyard and we may end up in the front yard. I actually don't know yet. We're going to start with a little update on my container garden refresh that I did a few weeks ago on this channel, that I redid these winter containers for spring for free, and this is what they're looking like. These are all of the dusty miller cuttings I put in here. They're still doing fine. The bulbs are putting on new growth. We've got some pansies in the middle. Looks like they've got a little bit of dried material. I can't remember if this was on here. We had some freezing temperatures since I've made this video, so this could be a little bit of frost burn, maybe, not sure. And I added a few rose cuttings just for fun to this pot. It doesn't really matter whether they take or not, but a little added touch for spring. Let's take a little look at my peach tree. This is my coconut ice peach tree that I've talked quite a bit about on the channel. It's got lots of buds forming. Probably still quite a ways away from actually blooming or leafing out, but definitely gonna have some nice flowers on here this season. And moving into the bulb border, there are just a few little flowers starting to bloom. This here is leopard's bane. I'll try to insert a picture of what that looks like. It is a perennial that gets early daisy-like yellow flowers mixed with daffodils that are almost starting to bloom. As you can see here, can we focus? There we go. Lots of buds on these daffodil bulbs. And coming this way, we have that grape hyacinth that is one of the first to bloom. Love the little pop of blue or purple color. And there are more bulbs coming this way. I spy a second. There is a second grape hyacinth. These are all blooming close to the house. I guess it's a little more protected under the overhang. There are also daylilies and bluebells and more bulbs to come. All kinds of stuff in this bulb border. Now we're going to venture up into another section of the backyard. I finally got into the garden and did a little work. I've got some of my roses pruned and they're just starting to put on some new growth now, so that is super exciting. There are some foxglove seedlings here, there, and everywhere. They seem to seed themselves wherever they please. Coming up into the gravel pathway, we've got lots of daffodils that are starting to get their flower buds here, there, and everywhere. And this plant, I actually don't remember what this was. It's got lots of buds, new growth forming. I think it was a rose cutting, but I don't remember. Could be something else. It's going to be a fun surprise when that opens up. Coming up the gravel pathway, my autumn joy sedums are putting on lots of new growth. And this was one of my creeping phlox divisions from, I don't think it was last year, it was the year I started YouTube. In the end of the season, I did a pathway makeover, and you can see it's getting new growth. Might even be flower blooms starting, I'm not sure, but it's definitely got something growing there, which is super exciting. Here, this is an arboricia that I divided. Got several clumps of it. And I don't know if you can see, but it's just starting to get its flower buds. So coming into this creeping time slope, I don't show this area too often. This is my nectarine tree that I planted last year. Hardly did anything, and I haven't showed it too much on this channel. This is how it survived its first winter. It did get some black on it, but I think it's going to be okay. It's got lots of green buds starting to form. So that is super exciting. And coming this way, it is the blue sky. It was actually super dark earlier in the day, and in the blue clouds, the blue sky has come out. So that is so nice. I'm gonna check out the vegetable garden. I haven't checked it out myself since the last video I made. So let's see what's happening in here. The lettuce doesn't look that different than the last video I made. I mean, it's possible it grew, but I don't really think much has happened since a week or so ago. Now, on the other hand, this plant, which I'm not sure if this is a kale, could be bok choy. I had bok choy planted, but I thought Supervisor totaled my bok choy before he died. I don't know what this is, but it looks like it's putting on lots of new growth, some kind of vegetable green in the vegetable garden. There's one here, and then there's one over here. I'm not sure if that's the same. It's almost got different edges. But they're both doing really well, whatever they are. Could be a lettuce too. I'm really not sure what this is. And coming in, actually we've got one over here too. I'm feeling like this might be a lettuce of sorts, but again, I don't really know. And if you look in the middle, whoops, what is that? That almost looks like a flowery thing starting. It's definitely a vegetable. If you can identify what vegetable this is, leave it in the comments because I'd really like to know. Coming over here, now this is a little surprising too. This to me almost looks like a broccoli, but I didn't think I had any broccoli planted over here. And if it is, it's quite different than my other broccoli. So once again, leave your guesses in the comments. I don't know what this is, so I can't say yes or no. I mean, maybe I can consult Google if I have some ideas, but at this point it looks like broccoli, but I'm not sure that it is broccoli. I just noticed I'm echoing, and this is why. I didn't realize that if I talked into this nearby this pipe, I would actually echo on video. Kind of interesting. So I just have this as a watering device. I put water into here a little deeper in the ground in the summertime, but apparently it causes an echo on video. Kind of interesting. Going further into the vegetable garden, we can check up on the garlic. I do think it's actually grown even since last week. It's putting on a lot of new growth, getting pretty tall actually. We've had cold temperatures again. It's been freezing overnight, and we've had snow on and off mixed with rain, mixed with sun. We're getting all the types of weather. Then we get up to 6 or 7 degrees Celsius in the daytime. Very odd weather. And check out the back garlic. We did check this out last week, but once again, I think it's put on a ton of growth even in the last week. Kind of crazy how much stuff is growing. And let's look for peas. I haven't been in here since the last video, so I had peas planted along these trellises. And these ones hadn't sprouted yet in the last video. These were planted way back early January when we had a warm spell. Don't see anything yet. And let's check over here too. We missed this one. Don't see any pea sprouts yet. Ooh, that might be one right there. Possibly a pea sprout. Can you see that? I think it might be. And over here, let's lift the leaves. There's something green. Could be moss or it could be a sprout. Not sure. We'll keep our eye on this trellis. And let's go look at the ones we know have sprouted in these little containers. I showed these last week, I think. And they're definitely putting on new growth. All these little pea shoots. Same with the one over here. They're pretty happy in their little containers. These are my honeyberries I showed last week. They have put on so much growth in 1 week. It's actually pretty incredible how much they've grown. And you guys, if I'm not mistaken, they are pretty much flowering. I don't think I'd say that they're open, but can you see this? Can you see that little flower? Let's zoom in. Can you see this? It is covered in flower buds mixed with leaves. So exciting. The only downside to this berry bush that I've noticed in our is that it blooms early, which this is the earliest I've seen it bloom. Usually it's a little bit later. I mean, the flowers aren't open yet, but they're close. But the bees aren't often out this early, so that can be a bit of a problem. And I'm having trouble with hand pollinating in my house. So don't know how this is gonna go this season. I hope the bees come out soon, but I don't blame them. It's actually still pretty cold. So not too surprising that the bees aren't here right now. Right in front of me, this is how my kale is doing. It is doing awesome. I should probably harvest some for a salad pretty soon. Looking really good. More kale in this corner with another honeyberry bush. And no, I didn't get to the transplanting I talked about in the last video. It's still needing to be done here and here, but it's on my to-do list. Quick look at how my fairy garden fared the winter time. All of these pieces were out all winter through the rain, the snow, the freezing temperatures, and they seem to be doing fine. No problems here. I do a little rearranging, but it's looking fine. I'll probably bring a few more pieces out soon than I have in the house. And this is my Candy Tuft ground cover. It's a little bit of a higher growing ground cover perennial, evergreen, and it is just starting to bloom. It gets these beautiful pure white flowers, and I'm so excited. It's one of the earliest ones in the garden this season to bloom. And here is my purple abretia. I said in the last video I thought it was going to bloom by this week, but I think it's actually been too cold. It's full of flower buds, but nothing is open yet. Unlike this abretia right here, it does have a few little white flowers open, which is so appreciated when there's a lack of color in the garden. And coming over this way, this is my second white Candy Tuft ground cover. These ones aren't as far ahead, but they're covered in flower blossoms. It'll be so pretty when they open. We're just going to venture into the front rock garden and check out a little more color. Here's a little update on this container refresh that I did a week or two ago. The purest flowers are just starting to open, which is so exciting. That one pansy flower is still going strong, has not wilted. And my English daisies are just starting to get their flower blossoms. So exciting. And the pansy I put in the middle has flower buds on it. I don't know if you can tell, they're developing right here. This is going to be really fun to see how the color emerges in this container. We'll take a quick little walk in the rock garden and I'll show you the actual colors that are emerging. This is my wallflower and it is just full of blossoms that are about to open. Not quite there, but pretty soon with a little fairy house. Coming this way, one of the most exciting developments in the rock garden. We have all of these little purple blooms. There's quite a few of them here. These are anemones. There's more back here. We've got a dark purple and a lavender purple, almost blue. More over here. Quite a few of these little flowers and they're about to open. It is so exciting. Definitely made my week, these little flowers. Coming into this little area in front of my California lilac that definitely needs attention. Need to prune off some of the dead from frozen temperatures. We have a daffodil with a bud on it and a whole pile of little crocosmia flowers. No, they're not crocosmias. Grape hyacinths are just starting to emerge. So exciting, that little bit of purple popping through the green. And the tiniest little flower on this gray sward. So adorable. And coming this way in the rock garden, there is a little bit more color to see. There's a little frog. There are some more and more pansies have been starting to show themselves here and there. There will be hundreds of them once the season gets into full swing. One over here too. And a little bit of character on this hens and chicks. A little fairy scene. That's all for today's garden tour. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, and we will see you soon with another video. I hope you're having a lovely day, evening, or night wherever you are. Bye for now. Lots of poppy seedlings are emerging in the rock garden. There are flower seedlings here, there, and absolutely everywhere in this rock garden. It gets hundreds, if not thousands, of flowers that sprout from seed. Here's another little pansy. One more thing to show you in the back garden. This is a little pea trellis right by the house. And there are pea seedlings emerging. It's so exciting. Probably need to water them actually. It's looking a little dry. There is an overhang here, so I'll probably need to do that.